the recording. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me this evening, and welcome, Morena. I will introduce Morena in a second. I just want to introduce myself for those of you that don't know me. My name is Renee Roberts. I am a registered health and functional nutrition coach and founder of Nourish to Live RX. And I work with men and women over 40 and help them develop healthy habits to sleep better and get more energy throughout the day. So just a few logistics before I pass it over to Morena. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat or the Q&A box. If you feel so inclined, you can raise your hand. If you want to pop on audio and ask a question live, you're more than welcome to do that as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, for logistics. So what I'll do is I'd like to welcome our guest speaker for this evening. This is Morena, and she is going to talk to us about arms and shoulder self-care when working from home. So this is something I truly need because I hunch all the time. So Morena is a health coach with a background in 3D animation since 2003. So through her health challenges like endometriosis and work-related repetitive strain injuries, she has spent the last 6 years diving into all health-related studies to help herself and others restore her own health and regress her symptoms. She got certified as a Yoga Hatha and Restorative instructor and health and life coach. And her main focus is on computer-bound workers who want to improve their health so they can do more in less time and still enjoy the things they love. So welcome, Morena. Thank you for joining. Okay.
Thank you, Renee. I'm going to share my screen for my presentation. So let me see. Just some caution, the exercises today will be really easy, but if you have any problem, just watch for now and feel free to ask me questions later. Of course, check with your therapist if these things are good for you. But so I'm so glad you guys made it to this wellness at the work workshop. And, we're going to talk about what intense computer-bound work and why we get so tense and how that is affecting our. But first, does anyone knows what is this? It's a marker. Sure. We also can use it as a massaging tool, call that. So, health self-care is full of surprises. We have been conditioned to think that healthy habits are hard, boring, no fun. So, we get this assumption that we have to suffer in order to the health that we want. And I want to challenge this thought. My goal is you to a whole new wellness work experience. So just start to shake your shoulder. We're going to learn some exciting new movements that are easy to do and feeling so good that you will crave more. So we're going to talk about 3 challenges. The first one is why do we get arm and shoulder? The second is about breaking unhealthy habits. And the third one is fitting self-care and be productive at work. Then we're going to talk about slowly but surely. Basically is how to progress slowly into this new regimen. Movement and breaks ideas and exercises for arm and shoulders longevity. And I'm going to let you know about self-massage with therapy balls. Next, we're going to bring the things that we learned today into your life. And I'm going to pass a survey, follow up. I'm going to send you a handout once you fill up the survey. Now let's start with my story. How did I end up talking about wellness at work? So Renee already told you a tiny bit, but I want to let you know a bit more about me. In the last few years, I achieved the best personal care of my life while keeping going above and beyond on the job that I love and becoming a source of support for those around me. But it wasn't always this way. So let's back off and start at the beginning. I'm Italian and I moved here in Canada 16 years ago. So the reason why is because from Italy, the 3D market to which I wanted to, the one that I wanted to work in is quite small, and I did work really hard to get competitive. So I ended up being hired in Canada at only 23 years old, and the flight and rent were paid by my new company. So I had my dream job, and even after work, I kept doing extra projects, 3D printing, and then experimenting again with art and technology. I was very proud of my work, and one of my supervisors described me on LinkedIn as one production machine girl. Now that was all cool until in my 30s, my health changed. I started struggling with fatigue, chronic congestion, sinus ear or lung infections, digestive pain, bloating, weight gain, acne, negative moods, and you name it. That resulted in surgery for endometriosis, which is a chronic condition, and I also got found pre-cervical cancer, which you only develop when you're really stressed out. I physically also developed many aches, like shoulder pain, back pain, sciatica, tennis elbow, golfer elbow, carpal tunnel, and that is mainly due to my computer-bound lifestyle. So I spent thousands of dollars in physiotherapy, massage, and then other kinds of therapies. And everybody advised yoga, but without deeper knowledge, I was keeping to get hurt. I was in such pain that I was getting anxious that I wasn't going to be able to keep working and do the things that I love. So how did this happen? It wasn't definitely the best life ever. So I knew I had to change something. And I started to immerse myself in learning everything I could about general health, body mechanics, and nutrition. And I got certified as a yoga instructor for Hatha, Restorative, and Yoga Tune-Up. And I'm going to tell you more about that later. I become an expert about my health on a 360 level, and people notice and start to ask me for advice. So I wanted to share all this information I have in order to help people to find solution they need before it's too late, and without going through years of pain and study. But I didn't know how to deliver all of that without overwhelming them. So that's what brought me. And during my study, I discovered this thing that changed everything. At first, I thought, this sounds great, but might only work for some. But then I trust the process and I follow through in a way that I never had before. So within a few months, I discovered what was keeping me stuck. I recovered my general health and minimized my physical pain. I feel happier and I finally wake up with good energy in the morning. My digestive issues are greatly improved and my chronic sinusitis is gone. I now have more clarity than I had in years, and I know better how to take care of myself and others at home and on my job with much better focus and be able to support my team and best. So I started getting a lot of people asking how I tackle my issue. And that's when I developed a coaching system that I call the Total Energy Transformation. To teach people how to learn healthy habits without giving up the things that they love. At first, I tested on myself and a friend of mine, and then I tried it with other true friends. And then I started getting clients, and they all have successfully gained back their energy and live a healthier life in a way that feels natural, experiencing a total transformation using the exact steps that I'm going to teach you today. Now, it's my goal to help you connect the dots and show you exactly how you can do this as well, but no matter how far off track you have fallen. So you're in the right place if you're wondering how to keep healthy and keep doing the thing that you love. You're done reinventing the wheel and you want someone to tell you what works and what doesn't for real. So you want to discover what is keeping you stuck so you don't get unstuck, so you can get unstuck. And you're ready to finally get your health indoors so you can allow your best self to shine. If this is what describes you, then you're exactly in the right place. In fact, if this is you, there's no accident that you're here together, because today I'm going to show you how to get back control of your health without giving up your performance, but actually enhancing it. So you can experience a total transformation that gives your best body, your best moods, and your best life ever. And we have a limited time, amount of time together. So I'm going to teach you as much as I can about our topic today. And then I promise before I finish, I'll show you how to take this further if you want to. Now, there are three main challenges that all of my clients and most people have when they want to kick their poor work habits and lifestyle. First challenge. People wonder, why does our general health go off track in our daily lives? So think about this. When a computer doesn't turn on, what do you normally think is the problem? Is the software that you just installed or something wrong with the hardware, with the computer itself? So, we normally turn off the machine and restart. We think it's mainly the computer, not the software. But so why, when it's about our bodies, when we start to have aches, then we start to think, what new expensive lumbar support chair should I get? Or maybe I should get that $2,000 stand-up desk, or maybe the most ergonomic keyboard, or rely on pain medication. And yes, this helps alleviate our symptoms, but we rarely realize that the root of the problem is not as much in the ergonomics, but in our habits. So for example, even when we have a $1,000 chair, we might get too comfortable and hold a poor posture for a long period of time, hunching our neck, stiffening the body, and impairing blood flow. So in regards of arms-related RSIs, which is repetitive strain injury, I personally experienced this when I started working with a graphic tablet instead of a mouse. I realized this would get me 25% faster in my tasks, so I ditched the mouse completely. And I also was advised that that could be a solution for carpal tunnel issue, and I'm going to explain you why. So in this part of the arm, we have two bones are called radius and ulna, and they are parallel to each other. When we are in a relaxed position, like when we are standing with our hands down and the palms are facing the body. There are nerves that run from the neck through the shoulder up to our fingers. There's no barrier if we are with our palm facing the body. And this is a similar situation if we have a vertical mouse, so something like that, where we in that open hand position. So when we have a regular mouse, instead we end up with this ulnar region. You can even try yourself. If you hold your elbow, then you see that the only thing that changed is in this area, but this part stay quite together. So this is the twisting of the two bones. And that might create impingement on the nerves because of this rotations of the bones, and it can result sometimes in carpal tunnel. So, I tried this tablet, but then, I had challenges because where do you put the keyboard, So I tried on the side, but my arm was way too far. I try on the top, but then I have to bring forward my left shoulder. So I start to get all this left shoulder and upper back pain. And also by clicking on the digital pen all day, I got this repetitive strain injury that is tennis elbow. So around here, there is like this muscle, and then you get a tear in the tendon that attached to the elbow, and golfer elbow, which is the same situation, but on the internal side. So yeah, so much for ergonomics solution. So, we talk about arms problem, but a lot of it often comes from the shoulders as well. So for example, since working from home, I found myself typing way more in order to reach people via chat because I'm working remotely. So if you think about it, when we are typing, there is this inward shoulder rotation action. So if you look at this image, you can see the nerves passing through the shoulder going down the arm. And when we do too much of this, or we crunch our shoulder on the keyboard, etc., we create this impingement on our nerves and a lot of tension in our shoulders as well. It can lead to this pinching, feel like pain or tingling in your fingers, numbness in some area of your dominant arm, etc. So the posture is really important to be aware of. Now, think about this. Life is a system of opposites, like young and old, yin and yang, hot and cold, etc. And your body is always trying to balance itself out through variation and movement. So what do you think it happens if you are spending too much time in one position? Even worse, stressing out. It happened that we tense our muscles, especially in the shoulder. We motion. Like think about if you don't use it, you lose it. So I realized, and I didn't realize it for myself either, is that when we are actually creating our own pain unknowingly. So look at this posture. Think about holding this posture for a long period of time, and that's what creates our pain, cool, right? So your body is not in balance when either sitting or standing for a long period of time, or craning over the monitor, hunching on your tablet, typing on the keyboard, or clicking the mouse or graphic pen all day, or leaning on your phone, which, by the way, is like holding several pounds on your neck, depending by the degree. We completely get focused on our tasks and stressed out about our deadlines and delivery, getting tight on the computer for hours at a time, losing the sense of time, constricting our breath in a shallow rhythm, keeping our nervous system fired up all the time between all the messages and emails, and even unable to relax outside the work environment. Like, think about looking to the constant gratification from our phone, chat messages, keeping the mind hyper aroused with electronics, or even turning to unhealthy eating or drinking habits in order to balance out the stress and the inner alienation. Let's go to challenge number 2. The second challenge is about getting into breaking healthy habits, because it's so comfortable staying where we are and doing what we're used to do, right? Or you might even have experienced no pain yet. So you're thinking, I'm still young. That only happened to old people. While in the meanwhile, I already saw people in their early 20s having severe RSIs. Or I even heard someone saying, "Oh, I'm just having something there numbing my fingers. It's not a big issue." And I was like, so, you know, here there's also something else that I want to see, that it's not just about pain. It's not just about one small issue. I realized that these days, many health conscious people know what happened to their bodies if they don't move enough or they don't do their stretches and just keep eating cookies at our desks or stay up late playing games. But they don't often realize how it affects their moods and hormonal balance. So unexplainably, we find ourselves arguing with our friends, colleagues, or lover, beating ourselves up in our mind. Our moods are all over the place. Does has anyone experienced that? So if you have, yes, that's pretty much a big bummer. Now the third challenge and the final one, and then I'm going to go to the solution, I promise. So, when you work so hard and tight on the machine, that I experience myself, and I also notice with my clients, is that when you're not happy with one area of your life, like your career, your relationship, your finances, your workout, your love life, your family, or where you live, the winter weather, uh, it's sometimes so much easier to end up overworking, reach for our electronics, or binging on food than dealing with what's really going on. And I totally get that. In fact, when I work with my clients, we look at how to fit into their unique daily lives so they can quit the emotional eating right and eat better, fit in exercise in a fun way, and be present for their loved ones and be more productive in their jobs. It seems marvelous, doesn't it? So think about this. An ache in your arm, shoulder, or neck may seem like an inconvenience, but what if these aches are a messenger to help you to step into the best version of yourself? That would be pretty amazing. You know, you didn't just come here for solutions, for problems, you came here for solutions. So let's look at how to get started on kicking a healthy habit without removing the fun or giving up what we love, even if you've never done it before. So you don't have to write this down. I have them all written down for you in a PDF that I can send you later, and we'll tell you how to get that in a bit. The working from home situation creates even more staticity by having to communicate everything on the same screen that you already work on for about 8 hours a day. So this way to interact with your colleague, for example, by typing in a chat or writing emails instead of getting up and talking with them, or there are instead these heavy virtual meeting at your desk, one after the other, instead going to the conference room or perhaps on a different floor, and then move quite far from our workstation to reach for the kitchen or the bathroom, picking real coffee breaks with your colleagues, etc. Movement is important because it gets our blood flow, muscles working, and mood activated hormones. You feel tremendously better going back to work, and getting up and moving will allow you to get ideas flowing in, open up creativity because you got out of your head and a bit into your body. Studies show that our body is not in balance when we perform either of these activities for long period of time. For example, sitting or standing all day, craning over the monitor for several hours, leaning over the phone, typing on the keyboard, clicking on the mouse or graphic pen, turning the head only on one monitor if you have two monitors, performs tasks asymmetrically. So how can we bring more movement into your day in order to break these long hours of staticity on certain tasks? So you can start your day with a 10 or 15 minutes body maintenance exercise routine, for example, a short yoga class or targeted exercise you might do here. You can substitute your old commute for a coffee break with 15, 20 minutes walk, making sure to pendulum your arms. And you can also take advantage of meetings to stand up and move around instead of crunching extra work by multitasking, which also overload our systems and create more stress. anxiety. So every massage, which I'm going to show you in a bit, or a couple of minutes of stretches or exercises. You can also move around to refill your water glass, and think about this. Hydration helps your muscles to be supple. Ideally, you want to work on the areas that you have more challenges with, performing slow movement for maximum efficiency. The exercises presented in this class are suggestions, but then you can enrich yourself with other that you know, or that your therapist is suggesting you. In the handout, I'll include as well a list of timer apps you can use to remind you to take this break. So this is just caution. We want to transition to new posture tools and exercises gradually without triggering a sudden stress response. So do it in short stances and with caution without inducing pain. Every day you can alternate between different exercises, and if you need, look for help of a therapist to help you to work out deeper issues or injuries. So also be careful if you take any kind of pain medication, because they will prevent you from feeling your body properly and might result in strain. Therefore, refrain from doing any of this exercise while under the effect of this medication. Consult your doctor first. So I'm going to start with the exercise sequence. The first one is about standing up to reset your posture. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate a bit this one. So we want to have, probably I'm going to out a bit of the presentation for a second. Let me see. So then you can also see me. Oh. Renee, do you know how I stopped to share? Here, I found it. Okay. So hopefully you can see me, and okay. So when we are standing, we don't want to be in a situation where we are leaning too much on one side or the other. Think about dividing our body in blocks. And so they are all stacked on top of each other. So head on top of the shoulders, not like with our neck craning, but aligned with our shoulder, on top of our rib cage, on top of our hips, knees and ankles, and the feet should be parallel to each other, facing each other. If this position is difficult for you, definitely therapist should be able to help you to work towards a more neutral pose. But already standing up, even when you're having a virtual meeting, can help you out to have a new position. So I'm going to go over the exercise list. And the first one, okay, I can be sit here and show you close. So the first one is called puppy dog. So we're going to close our thumb in our hands, and we're going to close every finger like this. And then we're going to stretch by pushing down our fist. And then when we reopen back, we stretch all the other way. So we're going to do this motion for a few times. You might feel some stretching or tension on this part of the arm, probably more on your dominant arm than the other. And then with this one, you might feel some stretching happening, especially in the hand, sometimes in this forearm part. So we can also get our wrist loose by shaking our hands, like if we are shaking wet hands. So all this drifts out. So this is really helping to relax our hands from holding the mouse of the graphic pen all day. We can also do some figure 8 circles. So this is really nice to lubricate our joints in the wrist. So back and forward into different direction. Wrist stretches, I'm going to tell you what they are. So usually people do that by pushing the arm, the hand with their other hand. And I want to avoid this just because this may be too extreme, especially if you already have some tension. I like to work in natural range of motion. So if you open your hands down and up and just go where you feel that is your point of bending, that will already help to get loose these muscles and without overdoing it. Shrugs, you probably know this by lifting up your shoulders and then releasing. You can do a series of 5 or 10 of them and just let them be. So this is really helping to keep our shoulders a bit relaxed because we build up a lot of tension in this area, especially by being at the keyboard all day. And then chin tuck. So this is especially for those of you guys who are craners. It's about, you can also open your arm and just press against your hand crossed behind your head like this. And in alternative, you can just hold like this, like for a few seconds and relax and then hold. You will feel that you're working a bit the muscle behind the neck, and these are helping to hold your neck a bit more back, more aligned with your ear on top of your shoulder. So again, that is something that will come with time. Neck range of motion is think about yes, no, and maybe in some ways. So yes means like looking down and up. We don't need really to look up too much because especially if we are training all day, then think about lifting up. We are already looking up with our neck, while this would be our more neutral position. So we can look down mainly and then up. For our yes, you will feel these muscles in the back stretching. No, so looking left and right, again, without straining. Just doing this exercise every single day will give you more range of motion. And you can also repeat these exercises through the day as you need. And the top where you feel that is enough, that you are not actually overdoing it. And rotation, you can do this rotation, especially by looking down and then go to the other side. Again, we are lubricating a bit of these neck joints. Now I'm going to show you some that are standing up. There is a few nice ones that I really like. So one is to relax. Let me see if I can get a bit more light here. So I call it loose arms body twist. So we're just going to get our arms like they're dead, and we're going to twist our body. We can, in this way, a bit get them loose and relax. When we are twisting on the right side, we're opening a bit our right chest muscles, and the same on the left side. So this is just a nice relaxing one to do. We can do arm circles. I call them arm helicopters. So this might be a bit requiring a lot of coordination, and it starts by holding our hands together and then going with circles that are opposite to each other. So if this is too difficult, and you can do a few on the same direction or on the other direction, this is really nice because it really opens up the shoulders. If it's too difficult, you can just do one arm at a time and then go in the other direction. And then you do the same for the other arm, so just one, and then the other. If opening this much is too much for you, do less. Just do the circle that you can, without feeling pulling or straining or tingling like any of these. You have always to move back, and then you can email me to know if there is a modification we can do in your specific case. There is another one that is called, I think it's called sideline bending, but I call it banana side bending. So you're going to cross your legs. So the one that you have put in the front, take the same arm and put it on top of your head and then hold with your opposite arm. You're going to feel a stretch going all on the side of the body, possibly here in your underarm side, and then possibly on the side of your torso. And then we can do the same by crossing the other leg and holding the other arm. This is a very nice one that you can do whenever you feel that you need a bit of a stretch. Okay. And then the last one would be, we call it pranic bath stretch. So feeling like if you are washing yourself with water and then releasing the water outside your body, like if you're under a waterfall, and then opening up. So in this case, we're basically doing a movement in which we are opening the arm as opposed of going back and forth. We are going sideways. Okay. So I really like this. It's pretty elegant. It's really soothing, and it's just giving you that mobility, that breathing to your shoulder to release all this tension. So in order to remember to do this exercise, as we were saying, you can use a timer or like the kitchen timer if you want, or even an app, either for the phone or the computer, to get this in regularly, or put some calendar reminder to make this an habit. So let me see. And now, so you get these. If you get these notes after our call, some of you are going to want to take this further and deeper. And I promise you, I'm going to show you how we can go there and do that. So next step is self-massage. So these balls are called tune-up therapy balls, and or you could start maybe with a tennis ball, but basically these help to relax, increase blood flow, reduce pain, resolve knots, stuck fascia, and allow your muscles to be supple and mobile. Unless you have a serious situation, then more pain will indicate that you need to see a therapist. And you can use the tune-up ball therapy balls like I do, or as I was saying, maybe sometime tennis ball to start. Sometime you can also create a peanut. I definitely would avoid lacrosse balls because they're way too hard on the bony areas that we are looking at. So now this is a sequence, but you can use the ones that you need the most. I include videos in the PDF that I'm going to pass you after this class. So the massage that I will include are feet and forearm roll. Then there will be something to help your thumb tension inside and outside of the hand, chest roll, underarm, so forward, back and forth of the underarm. Then there will be shoulders, then the scapula and behind the back as well. So there will be this link to the class series in the handout, and then you can watch it later, and I'm going to tell you how to get that link as well soon. Now, after work, just rest from your computer and keyboard and take frequent break applying the thing that you learned today when you can't avoid it. And alternate tasks as much as swap hand doing ordinary activities. Think about feeding yourself. We need to protect our own hardware, or we might not be able to do either of our daily jobs and personal projects. So we need to take rest and get familiar with those exercises break. I left you some. I left you some of this information as well in the handout. So what now? We want to make sure that to take this useful information into lasting transformation. For example, even if we have an app reminder to take our breaks regularly, we might use it a few times, but then we start to be really good at ignoring it because another minute to finish this task, snooze, or this other thing needs to be done, snooze. And next thing you know, it has passed another half an hour, 1 hour. Does this sound familiar? So who here feels 100% confident they could walk away from this talk and start taking better care of themselves once and for all? Open, not many. And that's because we actually have left out freaking the ingredients that put all of this together. Without these three ingredients, we stay in the same pattern and repeat the same old behavior that keeps us stuck. Some of us do really well for a little while. We get some new information, we renew our commitment to follow through and take consistent action for a week or two. We convince ourselves that this time is going to be different. And then what happens? Our motivation fizzles out or we fall off track. So how many people know what to do, but don't always do it? Yes, most of us. And that's because knowing isn't enough, isn't what motivates us to action. We are suffering from a high-fat diet. We've got a lot of theory, but then we are not putting it into practice. So the three key ingredients that brings this all together are the right system, the right support, and the right accountability. We got information. You don't need more information. What do we need is make this time different. Is someone to encourage your progresses and someone to kick us in the butt when we make poor choices. So since not all of you are enthusiastically ready to get off the unhealthy lifestyle on your own, I'd like to invite you to a free initial Transform Your Body and Energy Now breakthrough session. And this is a 45 minutes private consultation where we'll discover what's holding you back from having the health you want, stopping your energy while you're stuck, and how to get unstuck. And what's your plan of action? That's 45 minutes of your time, and I guarantee you will walk away with at least one major aha about how to break out of the rut and get into action. One of my last clients said during this session, with Morena's suggestion, it was super motivating and helpful for me to make the right choices to move forward on making positive adjustments in my life. I want to invite you to open up to the possibility that this time can really be different, that you haven't tried everything yet, that even those of you who are relatively healthy already might be missing something that could make it better. This is an opportunity to get curious about how healthy you can be. I have clients who came to me with anxiety eating, low energy levels, and carrying upsetment and frustration due to her very stressful job where she felt underappreciated. She had challenges finding time to spend with her daughter and keeping active. When the family wasn't around, she would be binging on food to numb her sorrow. No doctor ever addressed the root of her tiredness, how she was gaining weight and felt lethargic all the time. Knowing there had to be a better way, she came to me. We work on removing all this toxic buildup from the inside out. We identify not only the foods, but also the lifestyle factors, the stress, the habits, and work situation which trigger this inflammation. When we came up with results-oriented situation, she didn't even feel deprived. With, within 4 weeks, she understood why she was going for unhealthy choices and was able to naturally change those habits. Her confidence soared. Over the next 3 months, her entire life completely transformed physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. She knew how to tackle work challenges and making time for both her workout and her family. Most of all, she was amazed at how fun and easy it was to implement the necessary changes to keep her overall health balanced. What makes this program unique is that we focus on what you get to have rather than suffering to heal doesn't make sense. When I work with a client, I want to inspire you to reclaim your health in a way that is sustainable, natural, and fun. Friends tells me that I'm a cheerleader and also a love coach. If you're ready to make this work like nothing else you've tried before, then here's what to do now. This is a link to a Google form as well in the chat we're going to share. Um, let me see if I can. Cool. So for those of you who are not able to open it right now because you're driving or watching the replay, you can do this as soon as you get the chance. I still get notification once. Just feel free to message me at info@Coach Morena if you need the link again. On that form, you're going to see a place to put your name and email. Please write clearly there. At the bottom of the form, you see 2 checkboxes. The first one is to schedule your private one-to-one Transform Your Body and Energy Now with me. This is a 45 minutes private consultation with me where I'm going to lead the process and you're going to find out what is holding you back from having the health you want, what is sapping your energy, why you're stuck and how to get unstuck, and what your plan of action is to experience a total transformation. The sessions are value $75, but because you're here, this is my gift to you. And all you have to do is to show up for yourself. I promise, even if you're the type of person who feels like, oh my God, I can't go without my precious sweet treat, or I cannot possibly take 2 minutes break every 30 minutes, or even I cannot possibly imagine my life without using the computer all the time. I promise you, you are going to learn something that is really surprising about those habits. Just go ahead and check that box. I will follow up with you soon. Invest 45 minutes of your time, and I guarantee you will walk away with at least one aha about why you're stuck and how to get unstuck. Now, the second checkbox will give you an extra free gift, which is a free, easy ways to double your energy today ebook. Just go ahead and check that box now to receive your gift and keep in touch with me in the times to come. Once you complete the form, I will follow up with you and send you the handout with all the mobility breaks idea and the exercise we talk about today, plus timer apps, links, and other interesting resources like the videos about how to use the massaging ball. So you can start to integrate the movement into your work day today. So this concludes our talk. Thank you everyone for being here.
Okay, thanks, Morena. Thank you so much for coming on and telling us all about that. I want to open up the open it up to questions. Does anyone have any questions for Morena right now about what she spoke about tonight? I know it was very informational for me. One of the things you mentioned, tennis elbow, and I had that, and man, that hurts. And it takes forever to get fixed. Oh my goodness. I had to go to physiotherapy and I had to go to a chiropractor, and the chiropractor finally fixed it for me. But I do know it's so important. Yeah, it's so important to just keep everything moving, because I'm actually going to physio now because I have a frozen shoulder, and my physiotherapist thinks that I injured myself way back in January, but he thinks it was also it was also because of the way I'm hunching when I'm working at my desk, and that didn't help the situation. So it is so important to actually continue to stretch during the day, and it's crazy. So
take the breaks and be aware of our posture. And really what I find challenging is, to detach from our work, because we are so focused into it. And we go through, even if we feel the pain, but we don't realize that we are really, we are hindering ourselves on so many levels. Initially might be your tennis elbow or your shoulder, but then other parts of the body go with it.
yeah.
Sometimes even so tight on the machine.
Yeah.
So what I found for me really helpful was definitely having somebody that was accountable to me, in order to help me to really stick to my intentions and understand really my motivation of why I'm taking care of myself, why that is more important really, or is going to even help me more in my work. That is not something that I see right now, but is accompanying, is like enveloping the whole of our work really. If we're feeling great, we're going to do a great job.
Yeah, for sure. Tina said she loved the stretching exercises. Thanks, Tina.
Thank you, Tina.
Any questions? If not, what I'm going to do, feel free to type them in the chat or the Q&A box, but I'm going to post some information. I think Morena already posted the link, but I'm going to post that and some of the other links as well. Yeah. So the first link is to Morena's survey. I also posted a link to my upcoming events. My event next week is all about fierce inner growth. So I put the link to that as well. And, join my Facebook group if you haven't already. Connect with me on social media. Okay, Deb says, I switched to the vertical mouse and will never go.
Never go back to a regular one. Yeah, it's such a game changer. I agree. Like once, if I by any chance have just a regular mouse, I feel it immediately. It's crazy. So Deborah, I'm happy that you found this. When I actually wanted to bring also a resource about the ergonomics, etc., but then I realized my class would have gone on forever. So feel free also to contact me if you want to know a bit more of these tools, and then once you have this list, or at least the thing that I tried, then you can go back to your physiotherapist or whoever is taking care of your case and ask them, do you think that this could be helpful for me? And see how that can be, an improvement in your cures.
Yeah, for sure. I liked your pictures. I like the pictures of the sitting and how you stand. I think I'm a sloucher, not a sloucher. I forget what it was.
Like, that's me.
Yeah.
A lot of people really recognize themselves, and then they realize, yes, that's what I do.
Yep.
That's me.
Awesome.
Good. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm glad you guys enjoyed the class. And
yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
If there
are
once
no questions, you get, if there are any question, feel free to contact me. And then, yeah, once you fill up the survey, then I just can reply to your email and I'll pass you all
Awesome.
the list of the things we talk about today.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining. Thanks, Morena, for giving us those lessons. And I want to everybody have a good night, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.